students of class 7. I'd like to start up a new chapter today. This is a poem called To a Butterfly, which is from lesson number 7, and this poem is written by William Wordsworth. Now, as always, before we go into the poem, let's first learn about the poet William Wordsworth. So William Wordsworth was an English romantic poet who wrote on various topics and majorly about nature. He was born on 7th April 1770 at Cockermouth, Cumberland in England, and he had helped to launch the Romantic Age in English literature with the publication of a collection of poems called Lyrical Ballets, which was published in the year 1798 along with his friend Samuel Taylor Coleridge. His best work is an autobiographical poem called The Prelude. William Wordsworth was also England's poet laureate from 1843 until his death on 23rd April 1850. Now coming to the poem, To a Butterfly. I will read the poem, the whole 2 stanzas, and after that we'll try and break it up line-wise or perhaps stanza-wise. To a Butterfly by William Wordsworth. I've watched you now a full half hour, self-poised upon that yellow flower, and little butterfly indeed. I know not if you sleep or feed. How motionless, not frozen seas, more motionless. And then, what joy awaits you when the breeze hath found you out among the trees and calls you forth again. This plot of orchard ground is ours. My trees they are, my sisters' flowers. Here rest your wing when they are weary. Here lodge as in a sanctuary. Come often to us, fear no wrong. Sit near us on the bough, we'll talk of sunshine and of song, and summer days when we were young, sweet childish days that were as long as 20 days are now. This poem is basically a lyric poem, meaning it is a formal type of poetry which expresses the personal emotions or feelings of the poet himself. It is not equal to song lyrics, but can of course be sung like a song. Wordsworth had written this poem, if I'm not wrong, in 1801, and this poem is the second poem written by Wordsworth addressing a butterfly. In this poem, the poet talks about a butterfly as his subject and how it reminds him of his childhood. He is rather showing us his feelings and how he wants us to understand him. And the poem shows his special connection with nature and how he finds beauty and meaning when he interacts with it. Now moving on to the first stanza of the poem. We'll start off with these 2 lines. I've watched you now a full half hour, self-poised upon that yellow flower. So the poet has been watching a butterfly for 30 minutes now, and finds that the butterfly has been sitting gracefully, very calm, very composed on a yellow flower. There's this reason, a particular reason why the color yellow has been mentioned here. Yellow basically signifies freshness, it signifies positivity, energy, happiness, and also enlightenment. We will see why these qualities are mentioned here in the later part of the poem. And little butterfly, indeed, I know not if you sleep or feed. How motionless, not frozen seas, more motionless. And then, here the poet calls the butterfly, little butterfly, to personify it, to give it a human quality. He does not know, the poet does not know if the butterfly is sleeping or rather feeding. This is because the butterfly is completely still and motionless, just like a sea of water that is frozen, that is not moving at all. The poet is in awe and finds it wonderful that the butterfly has this ability to be that still. Now, what joy awaits you when the breeze hath found you out among the trees and calls you forth again. Here the poet says that the butterfly will be very happy. What joy awaits you will be very happy when the wind starts blowing and comes moving from the trees and finds the butterfly sitting on that flower. and the wind will call out to it to fly along with it. It's almost like the butterfly and the wind will be playing hide and seek. The wind will try and seek where the butterfly is, and the butterfly will try to hide away from the wind. Again, the poet here is trying to draw a contrast between the solitary state of the poet and the pairing of the wind and the butterfly. In the first stanza, the poet is focusing solely on the simple pleasures that one derives from the loveliness and innocence of nature. However, moving to the second stanza, we'll see that the poem will take on a more personal tone. Now, second stanza. This plot of orchard ground is ours, my tree they are, my sisters' is flowers. Here rest your wings when they are weary, here lodge as in a sanctuary. This land of orchard means basically a place where fruit trees are grown. So that orchard is theirs meaning the poet's and his sister Dorothy Wordsworth's. He says that the trees belong to him, the trees were all planted by him, and the flowers to his sister. Flowers were planted by his sister Dorothy. The poet is again trying to shift our attention to his close relationship which he shared with his sister and how he becomes nostalgic thinking about his sister. Now the poet then makes an appeal. Here rest your wing when they are weary, here lodge as in a sanctuary. The poet is making an appeal to the butterfly and welcomes it to tarry around, stay around in his orchard and rest whenever the butterfly was tired. He wants it to consider the place like a sanctuary, here lodge as in a sanctuary. So the poet wants the butterfly to think that the orchard is a very safe place and it could come anytime it wants to and stay there. Moving on. Come often to us, fear no wrong. Sit near us on the bough, we'll talk of sunshine and of song. And summer days when we were young, sweet childish days that were as long as 20 days are now. Now the poet tells the butterfly to visit as often as it likes. Come often to us. And he wants the butterfly to not fear that it would be harmed, and also to rest in the branch of some tree in the orchard. The poet lastly says that they can talk of sunshine and of song, meaning they can talk of fun, happy things and spend time together enjoying each other's company and maybe talk about the sun and some music. And of the things he did, also of the things he did when he was young and innocent. Now, these things which he did when he was young seem to have happened a long time ago. This shows that the poet misses the summer days, which were fun, full of activities, and also the days of his childhood. The poet is basically trying to say that the butterfly is a personification of his childhood, how energetic, vibrant, fun, innocent, and full of happiness his childhood was, just like that yellow flower we talked about in the beginning of the poem. And he also wants to draw our attention towards the fact that he misses his childhood and tries to have it back by having the butterfly come more often to the orchard. The poem is beyond the appreciation of the butterfly, but rather of the celebration of the relation between the purity of nature, which is conveyed through the butterfly, and also the joy of childhood. So that is basically your poem To a Butterfly by William Wordsworth. Now we have your assignments. Okay, you are supposed to answer a few questions. Questions from exercise A. Question number 1 is, who was William Wordsworth? Easy. Question number 2, what is the subject in the poem To a Butterfly? So who is the main subject in this poem? Who is the poet talking about? That you have to answer. Question number 3, why is the poet entranced by the butterfly? Question number 4, to whom did the poet say that the flowers belong to? 5, what does the poet miss about his childhood? 6, what is the sole focus of the first stanza? Exercise B, you have to explain the following lines. lines from the poem. Question number 1, I know not if you sleep or feed, how motionless, not frozen seas, more motionless, and then you need to explain what these lines mean. The same way, question number 2, here lodge as in a sanctuary, come often to us, fear no wrong. These are also very easy. We've just discussed them, and please refer to the video and answer these questions. Copy them down in your notebooks along with the answers, and that will be your home assignment. Now these questions, 6 questions from exercise A and 2 questions from exercise B. Now the first 6 questions will carry 1 mark each from exercise A, and the 2 questions from exercise B will carry 2 marks each. A total of 10 marks for this lesson, your home assignment. That'll be all on lesson number 7, To a Butterfly by William Wordsworth. Thank you.